Scary videos go viral all of the time, but here are 5 unknown videos that I think are so scary they should go viral. Number 5. Trevor Deely didn't show up for work and his coworkers are worried. He never misses work no matter what. When he misses another day, they call the Dublin police. Detectives check cameras. Trevor is a redhead over 6 feet tall, hard to miss. The year is 2000, so they don't have many CCTV systems, but they have enough. This is what they find. His co-workers were with him at an office party at a bar called Copperface Jack's. They moved the party to a nightclub called Buck Whaley's, and Trevor Deely stays there until close. It's about 3:30 a.m. at this point, and Trevor has already said goodbye to all of his co-workers. He will see them tomorrow. Trevor doesn't go home from there. He's in a good mood, so despite the wind and rain, he goes back to his place of work, a bank that's open 24/7, to grab an umbrella and to talk to some co-workers. Outside of the bank is someone else who doesn't mind the bad weather, a man dressed in all black. They cross paths at 3:34 in the morning. This man has been here since 3:05, simply standing around a bank in the middle of the night for about half an hour. He waits 8 seconds and then follows Trevor to a side gate. There they talk for 10 seconds. The stranger is as tall as Trevor and looks stronger. Trevor unlocks the gate. The man waits for at least a minute as Trevor talks to some people inside. He doesn't mention the man dressed in black, so he must not have felt in any danger, or else he would have no doubt asked for help. About half an hour later is when Trevor comes out with an umbrella. He unlocks the gate and heads home. The man dressed in black appears. 5 minutes later, Trevor leaves his best friend a voicemail. "Hi Glenn, I've missed you there. Just on my way home, all going good. I'll talk to you tomorrow." It was the last words anyone would hear from him. Trevor is on Haddington Road, except something looks wrong. He's in quite a hurry. 22 seconds passed and someone speed walks behind him, a person wearing all black, and that's where the trail ends. None of the other surveillance cameras show Trevor again. He was definitely moving fast in the last video. He could have been running because the rain got worse, but I'm fairly sure he was being stalked. Police were able to verify that the man dressed in black behind him was the same person who was at the bank. Standing outside of a bank for a half hour at night is shady to begin with, but then waiting for a half hour for someone to come out and following them for another 15 minutes home is all the circumstantial evidence detectives needed to determine Trevor had his life taken. They were never able to learn who the man dressed in black was. The disappearance remains an unsolved mystery 20 years later. Not even a 100,000 euro reward in recent years has been enough to make anyone step forward. With that said, the case was reopened in 2016. The video was uploaded by the National Police Force of Ireland and needs more attention. I would like to make the surveillance video go viral in hopes that someone has the answer. He probably lost his life, but we can't rule out being taken captive. Maybe we can help find him and give his remaining family closure. Number 4. CERN is the name of an ominous lab nestled on the border of Switzerland and France. But for now, all you need to know is that this is where a ritual shocked the science community and launched an investigation into the mysterious facility and its workers. On August of 2016, a scared man watches a group gather in the courtyard from his window. They wear black shrouds and walk slowly as they circle around someone who stands in the middle. The man can't believe what he's seeing and records all of it for proof. At 22 seconds, the person's shroud is removed to reveal a gown of all white. They kneel down and submit to a statue. One of them, the leader I suppose, walks to the statue and turns around to face the person in white with his arm up. The person in white offers no resistance and does not move. Everyone kneels except for the leader. At 46 seconds, an object in his hand gleams in the light as he moves forward, and that's when it happens. The ritual ends with the person standing over the target and getting them in the neck from what I can tell, though it's hard to see from this angle and something is blocking them when it happens. Knowing that everyone there was a threat and that he could be next, The whistleblower immediately posted this video to their Twitter account for all to see, or at least that's how one version goes. CERN launched an internal investigation and declared this was a joke that got way out of hand. Some people were disciplined and let go. Many disagree with the results of the investigation and think it's real. Here's why. The lab is high-tech, well-known and well-guarded. A large ritual happened right in the middle of the courtyard, and security never came out once. If this was a joke, then security should have stopped it. An internal investigation says that this is a joke, but they never provide solid evidence as to how they came to this conclusion. I'll let you come to your own conclusions, but to me, none of this sounds good. Number 3. You might complain about how long public transportation takes and how uncomfortable it can sometimes be, but rarely do you think about how you are boxed in with a large group of people who you don't know and how anything could happen. 2 students in Glendale, Wisconsin get in an argument over a cell phone, and one of them calls their mom. It sounds like typical high school drama until the moment the mom makes it so much worse when she hunts down the school bus and cuts it off with her car. This is super dangerous, and I can't believe a mother would pull a stunt on a school bus full of students, let alone one with her own kin on it. I'm glad the bus has really good brakes and stops in time, because everyone knows they don't have seat belts. This could have been really bad.
Called her mom, who soon caught up with the bus.
But this mom isn't done. She pulls on the door 3 times before pounding it with a hammer. She clearly isn't thinking straight. The bus driver is aware that this is a student's mother, but she sure isn't going to open the door. She calls the police instead, which is what I would have done, and then she drives away from the situation because it's too dangerous, which is the right choice in my opinion. Only when the daughter starts going after the bus driver with a broom does the driver pull over and let her off. She could have driven to a police station, but she wanted to keep her other students safe and get the problem passenger out of here. The behavior of this Wisconsin mom goes way too far, and her daughter's outburst isn't much better. Kids could have really gotten hurt because of this, and I'm glad no one was. This video, taken on a bus full of high school and middle school students in Northampton, PA, shows erratic behavior behind the wheel. Students say that she was driving fast on the wrong side of the road. The video doesn't show if she was in her lane or not, but if the whole bus says it happened, then it's probably true. The camera is shaking like they are going fast, and students bump around in their seats more than normal, and they sound nervous too.
Oh my god, I'm literally getting off the bus. Call the school. This is not even funny.
Nobody is screaming or anything like that, but they are worried enough to demand to be let off, which would be pretty scary.
Pull over!
You know the fear is real if students were willing to get home from school later than normal, and not a single person wants to remain on the bus when given the option. One girl even votes twice.
Yes! Yes!
Instead of calling their parents like she said, the bus driver just dumps them at a gas station and walks off. Her balance looks normal, but I think she might be on something. The situation is so absurd that some people will think it's funny, but there would have been nothing funny about a flipped over school bus if she had kept driving that way. She faces up to 12 years behind bars, and as of this video, she has yet to be sentenced. What do you think should happen to her based on this display? Finally, a bus driver tells these students in Graham, Washington that they are safe to start a fresh day of school, and they run with excitement. A white SUV ignores the flashing bus lights. When you look from a different perspective, you can see how close they were to those poor kids. It was inches away. So I guess my point is feeling safe on a bus is a big mistake. Number 2. Om is a popular YouTuber from Delhi, India, who for 2 years has been steadily growing his channel Om Vlogs. At first, he would do normal things like go to a museum or an amusement park, but about a year ago, he started to get into ghost hunting. Now, he goes on ghost hunting explorations all the time, and they are really good. Delhi has a population of about 30 million people, so we are talking about a single city with as many people as the whole state of Texas, which means plenty of places to explore and plenty of ghosts to be found. So recently, Om Vlogs went to a building that was so cursed he wouldn't say the name of it or where it was, only that it was a restaurant in his hometown where something horrendous happened that made them close down and never reopen. On May 13th of 2020, they visit it for the first time, or at least try to. They don't get far because a presence guarding the area won't let them go inside. They stay at what they mistake for a safe distance and peer in. There's a light that's orange here at 8 minutes and 9 seconds coming from an otherwise dark room. They don't see anything else and chance a closer look. Om is talking more about the place when a mysterious shadow descends the wall at 12 minutes and 23 seconds. A minute later, they learn beyond a doubt that something is inside.
आवाज देखी आवाज नहीं देखी ये देख उधर के ईंट निकल गई है.
His friend is standing next to him, so it's not him. They dare not enter, but they stick around for a bit longer. At 15 minutes and 22 seconds, a single pixel goes white while recording a room on the second floor. When they zoom out, the light mysteriously goes away, but not before more black shapes pass over it. By now, it's getting late, so Om is wrapping up the video when he senses something watching him and points out a shadow figure that only he can see in person. It doesn't show up on camera, at least not that I can see, but you should remember this area for later because things are about to ramp up. Apparently whatever is in there is not happy to see them again when they return a few weeks later. This time a white-robed figure with a demonic head and 2 horns leans on the brick wall as if taunting them to try and go in, which they don't notice and proceed to do. They shine their light into a blown out window, and eyes waverly reflect at 7 minutes and 5 seconds. The restaurant is obviously no longer taking reservations. They stand and brace themselves for whatever comes next, and when nothing happens, they decide to explore a few rooms before returning to the main area. As they think about whether to leave or not, a terrible feeling washes over them, and their camera goes out of focus like something is near, and it is. Om puts his hand up to shield the group from something they can't see but we can. At 10 minutes and 58 seconds, it's coincidentally standing in the exact same place where Om thought he saw something the first time. The building becomes more displeased with each passing moment.
तो कुछ आप क्या कुछ ऐसा करके दिखा सकते हो?
But when they go into the room to leave, its guardian is absolutely gone. I guess it knew they were leaving and letting them pass without harm. And I think I heard a fire alarm at 11 minutes and 18 seconds even though the place clearly doesn't have one. I suspect it once burnt down. And what you heard was paranormal residual energy from the event. Om never does reveal the location, but there is a comment left by someone who thought they recognized the location, and I thought this was interesting. If someone could please confirm that this location is on the Karnal Bypass Road in Delhi, that would be helpful. And tell us anything else you know about its haunted history. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds? Because I upload 4 new scary videos every week. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1. This little 2.5 foot tall fuzzy robot is called Leonardo, or Leo for short, and in 2002 when everyone was playing PlayStation 2 and watching DVDs, this robot was already learning how to think, feel, and respond. Leo was created at the MIT Media Lab in Massachusetts. I know that doesn't look scary at all, but that's the whole point. It's designed so you won't want to be afraid of it. They want you to come closer so that it can learn from you. There's something disturbing about a fuzzy robot exploiting our natural trust for cute animals. as a way to help it learn more about interacting with people. I doubt that they would need to downplay its appearance so greatly if the concept of AI wasn't so dangerous and scary to begin with. Anyway, Leo quickly learned how to do stuff after being shown only one time.
Press the red button.
Note how in this next part, Leo is not asked to press the buttons at all, but does so anyway.
Have you learned to turn all the buttons on? Very good.
Again, Leo was not asked to press them. It was asked if it knew how to press them. It correctly assumed that was what she was going to ask of it next. Even today's robots can barely predict what humans want, but this robot, who is 2 decades old, is able to make its own decisions. Next, the scientist flies an object around so that Leo can learn how to track things with its mounted camera eyes. Much like Leo's harmless appearance, they use an Elmo doll to disarm our senses. It's able to track this Elmo doll without problem. It learns how to identify and track red things if asked. Here it remembers Big Bird's face and is able to find Big Bird when asked.
Can you find Big Bird?
Leo has a neutral expression at first. When the scientist says that Big Bird is a friend, Leo likes him.
Hey Leo, look at Big Bird. Don't you think he's great?
It can also be trained to not like something.
Leo, Cookie Monster is very bad. He's very bad, Leo. He's a scary monster who wants to get your cookies.
If Leo can be taught how to fear or love, then he could also be taught how to hate and destroy. Think about what a bigger robot could do with these abilities. It could be trained to be a police robot, a self-learning face-scanning cyborg that can be taught to do great good or great evil. Or even more terrifying, maybe it could come to the conclusion of what's good and what's evil on its own. Leo could be an early prototype for all that and more. Again, this is just an opinion, but it creeps me out to keep robotic AI looking as soft, cuddly, and unassuming as possible. Automatonophobia is the fear of statues. It's a pretty rare fear to have, but when a statue moves, I think anyone could develop it.